The world is filled with fluffy, ethereal podcasts about spiritual growth, transformation, and inspiration. Yeah, this isn't one of them. No, Find Your Flow is about what happens when life stops working. So let's get into it. No filters, no scripts, no curated sound bites, no fluff whatsoever, just flow. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Find Your Flow. I have Sara Byers here with me in the studio. Sara, welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. So listen, everybody, Sara here is a channeled writer and poet. And to me, listen, that speaks right to my heart because I write channeled meditations. I don't write anything. I'm just simply the instrument through which it flows. But before we dive into that, because that's going to be the bulk of our episode here, I love to find out from every guest. You're on here for a specific reason, and that is to be able to help every listener figure out what works for them, normalize their experience, and then help bring them some peace. So, Sara, what does flow mean to you?
So beautiful. What a beautiful purpose for a show. So let me just acknowledge what you just said. You know, flow to me, and I think flow continues to almost evolve in a way as we evolve. But flow to me is this state of being where I am spacious enough that I allow my human body, my physical body, sort of the other fields that surround me, I allow them to become an instrument for what is most universal among us. So that's what I sort of feel today. And I think that happens in such a myriad of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think it was sort of just one thing and sort of just the creative space where, you know, like you said, if you're channeling that you are flowing out. But I now also find flow in collisions. So when I say that, I think of energies coming together. And I think that even energies coming together can spur that sort of universality that creates flow. But flow is just that state of being is expansive, and I think ultimately is our gift to the world in some ways. Yeah.
I mean, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I couldn't put it any better myself. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
I had a near-death experience several years ago, and in it, I was shown all of these individual lights. I was heading definitely down some sort of tunnel with all of these little beams of light. Many, 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 many. And I paused and I looked into the light and I felt into the light and I commingled with that light to hear the song that was playing. And it became very clear to me that every light was a soul and that those souls sang a song. So the texture and the quality of every soul is a song. And when all of those notes came together, it created one light. It created this collision of souls and life and energy. And through that was love. Through that was healing, right?
Yes.
And it was from that point on that I really started to share this message with the world, share that message with the world. And I went, okay. So, I mean, of course, my very first question was, can I stay? Can I please? This just feels gooey and luscious and delicious and it smells like divinity. Like, can I just stay here and be in this? And I was told no. So I'm back and, and I'm here trying to share that experience with the rest of the world because I truly, truly, truly believe that when we can tap into that ourselves, there is no limit.
No.
None. And my healing begets your healing. Your healing begets mine. And in that collision of intention, is the removal of force, right?
Totally.
And the installation of peace.
Absolutely, because it doesn't require exertion. And oh my gosh, I feel like because I feel things, I'm just sort of overwhelmed by the feeling I have of you moving down that corridor of lights. What's interesting, and I would guess that you feel this way now, is that that same feeling that I'm getting from that, and it's interesting, some of the words that came through for me last night was that we are all a constellation of human stars. But the idea that that is what we are,
Yeah.
not even what we can be, but what
No.
we are.
Like, this humanness is what we can be.
Yes.
Sure, you can experience that. You can sit
Yes.
in that.
Yes.
But what you are, the essence of what you are,
Yeah.
is that light, and simultaneously so big and so small, singular and yet unified. It's just
Yeah.
amazing to
Oh
me.
my gosh, all of it. Okay, I do this. I'm like now asking you questions because I'm
No, go
fascinated.
ahead.
So before that near death experience, did
Mhm.
you identify with this? I'm sure it strengthened after, but sort of did you live your life in this space before then?
No.
Okay, wow.
I mean, I think I was, sort of oblivious,
Mhm. Yep.
right? I was, what, 22,
Mhm.
21 at the time when that happened, and it just sort of surprised me. It was like any other normal day, I was in the shower, taking a shower, when all of a sudden, I just felt everything get really, really super quiet. It felt like I was put in a sensory deprivation.
Mm.
And then
Mm.
it all went black, and then in an instant, I was going through all of that, and then the next thing my humanness was
Mhm.
conscious of was my husband now. He was my boyfriend then, but giving me mouth to mouth and
Mm.
checking for a pulse.
Wow.
And so that was that first, why is somebody's breath in my lungs?
Yeah.
And then it was, I'm really cold because I'm
Mm.
soaking wet and naked on a floor with somebody blowing oxygen into
Yeah.
my lungs. Like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, this is insanity. And I'm really cold. And and before your roommate
Yeah.
comes in, could I maybe get a towel? Like, there were all of these things that was going through my head.
Whoa, my gosh.
And,
Wow.
and even after that, I think I just, for the most part, just carried on with my life. I did start making decisions differently
Hmm, I'm sure.
because there I was, a senior in college, and I was put on this path while I was in college and offered all of these opportunities. Would you like to work here? Would you like to work there? And actually stopped. And I thought, ooh, there's a version of me who would have said yes to that, six
Mm.
figures right out of college,
Yeah.
my answer being yes. But I turned it down
Yeah.
for, I think, $7 an hour as
Got
a
it.
Montessori teacher.
Beautiful.
And now that fed my soul,
Yep.
while the other one would have like literally sold my soul.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah,
You
I
know
get
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah,
So
I
it
do.
is two different life
Wow.
paths and the one that I chose.
Mm.
But tell me about, and I would say that that was probably one of, people would think that that was one of like that was when Lisa lost her flow, and how did she come back from that? But it really wasn't.
Mm.
That was just sort of like a blip. But
Yeah.
what was yours? I mean,
Mhm.
have you always done channeled writing and composed that way?
Mhm.
Poetry to me is like meditations. I channel
Mhm.
meditations. I think they're one and the same.
Yeah.
Same thing with
Same.
music for that matter.
Yes, I agree.
Have you always done that? Or
As I look at my younger self, so my sort of adolescent self, and even younger than that, I think yes, I think I did. It was how I processed the world around me. I would speak, my sister tells me, and I'd forgotten this, speak in almost a different language that I still don't know what it is, but I started to do this in the last year for myself because I find peace in it. And my sister was like, "You used to do that all the time when we were kids," and I didn't remember that. So I think that I found flow and some channeled writing, and then all of life's parts, all of life's structure and its framework and architecture started to build around me.
yeah.
And I discarded it for a long time, but it would come in blips. I don't, when I love the sort of story of foregoing the six-figure job to, receive $7 an hour because I had those kind of choices in my life.
Mhm.
And I knew I would know what I could feel, what I was supposed to do, or what made more sense or where my heart was. And it didn't make any sense intellectually. and
Mhm.
I would end up leaping. So that I would say that I was sort of channeling flow when I would take leaps. But the writing itself or receiving, which feels better to me, I don't know why. I didn't begin receiving words until the end of 2021. 2020, I had a situation in my life that really sort of was my catalyst for discovering this new space. And in
Mhm.
doing so, it continued to open up sort of more and more and more of who I think that I really am, and likely many of us are. It's not unique, but yeah.
Do
Yeah.
do you are you comfortable talking about that catalyst in 2020?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So I was a very busy person. I was a CEO and I was a business leader and a board leader, and I was really trying to achieve almost insatiably because I had tremendous anxiety for most of my life, and it just was a way for me almost to run from it and maybe even run from this part of myself, which I didn't really realize at the time. But my stepfather was a lawyer and a senator here in Vermont. And he and I would just, there was just always tension between us,
Mhm.
maybe because I had wanted to be a lawyer and then I dropped out of college because of my anxiety and had a whole different track. But when he developed Alzheimer's, it was like I just felt connected to him suddenly. And I would be sitting in my office and feel magnetized. Like I'd
Mm.
never felt anything like it before. I would just feel like I'm supposed to go over there. And so I felt that and went over there the last day that he was to be at home before he was moved to hospice. He was in hospice for 12 days, and I would drive 20 minutes back and forth to be with him during the day and then spend time with my husband and daughter at night. And I would listen to the instrumental from the Titanic soundtrack
Yes.
while I was
You
driving
just
because
gave me, like, full body chills. Yes.
thank you for understanding because I know
Oh,
it sounds
I
ominous.
love you. Yes.
Because I just wanted to feel it, because I
Yeah.
knew that spirit that I was feeling from Harvey, who I called Hobby, was what I would just wanted to hold on to during this. So Hobby passed away after 12 days, and I listened to my music driving home. And when I pulled onto our street, I was like, okay, the music needs to be done now. He's gone. So I pulled up the Lumineers and their song Ophelia. And that's what it
Okay.
said on my screen because I had
Another good
just been
one.
to a Lumineers concert. So that's what my radio said that it was playing. But that is not the music that came through the speakers. It was Frank Sinatra's My Way. And
Mm.
it said, and now the end is here, so I face the final curtain. And I knew without a doubt that it was Hobby talking to me. And so I sat there in front of the garage, the music blaring in my ears, tears streaming down my face, feeling all of the spirit that I felt with him, but tenfold. And for the next couple of weeks, he would come to me in my dreams. He came to me one night and told me he was with my mom in the kitchen. And when I told her that the next day, she said last night was the first time I made dinner for myself. And, he was the thing that I was trying to become in my regular life, this powerful difference maker in the world. And to feel him in this way just really changed me. And I began to explore what all of it could mean, but I did so without showing myself. So I became Reiki certified and I just started to read as much as I could. But I didn't share it with anyone until about 8 months later. My mom, who is a scientist, was reading a ton of books on the afterlife because it was just part of her grieving process. And
Sure.
she was fascinated by this one medium. And so I purchased a session with her on Christmas Eve that year. And my mom gets on the phone with this medium in Arizona. We're in Vermont. And the woman says, there is a gentleman here and he is singing. Does Frank Sinatra's My Way mean anything to
Stop
you?
it.
And I was like, done, done, everything I needed, any ounce of validation. So now this is all so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
And because I know it to be true, even though I already kind of knew it to be true, it's time to just open to it. And that's when the words started flowing through and sort of the hearing people on the other side and translating
Mhm.
that energy and sort of the intuitive spaces, all of it But yeah, so that's what happened, and it was just the most profound experience of my life, and I'm so enormously grateful to my stepfather for giving me this gift.
It
Yeah.
is incredible how we can know people in their human state and admire them and honor
Mhm.
them and try to replicate them,
Mhm.
because there's a little piece of us that is like, that's family, like that's recognizable.
Yes.
I recognize that. And what I've come to learn is that that's my soul saying, that soul, that is what you're after, and that is what you're emulating. And leaning into that, I love that you said, like, you did this in secret,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
don't talk about it, and keep it close to your chest. It's a tough conversation to have with people, especially when others are grieving, right? To have those
Ah.
conversations is really, really difficult. So I hear you. Oh my God.
Mm.
I did the deep dive into my spirituality and learning Reiki and all of the things, right?
Yeah.
All of it. And opening up those intuitive gifts and the channeling and the mediumship and the psychic connection, all in secret.
That's right.
All in secret, because you're like, well, somebody's going to call me crazy. At some point, someone's going to point
Absolutely.
the finger and go, okay, you're either a lunatic or you're a witch. And if you're a witch,
Yes.
guess what? You're a lunatic. So,
Like, either
um,
way.
either way, you're a lunatic,
Yeah.
but you're
Right.
not.
I
You're
know.
not. And
Well,
so, listeners,
yeah.
when you are experiencing these things, you're not a lunatic. We're here to tell you, you're not a lunatic. There's nothing wrong with you. What you're doing
No.
is you're tapping into a greater expression of yourself. We're
Yeah.
very, very limited when we just stick to our five senses.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
You know?
Well, what surprised me, I think, the most is so initially when I started receiving the words, I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do with all this? Like, yes, it's
Mhm.
totally guided my life, which was amazing. It was sort of guiding my more spiritual journey. But I'm like, I've written 3,500 poems, and I don't even know if poem's the right word. So transmission might feel a little bit better.
Mhm.
But, I was like, what do I do with all this? So I started an Instagram page just to at least share one a day. But no one knew that existed in my sphere. But,
You're so
you know,
stealthy.
I know. I was like, wow, look at me. But I started as I would start piece by piece sharing this part of myself. And what has surprised me now I'm no longer hiding a thing, but was it resonated with everyone. So
Yeah.
what shocked me is as I continued to grow more and more in terms of my showing myself, I realized that it doesn't matter if it's like the top philanthropist here or CEO or college president, like whatever it is, or whomever it is, 95% of them resonated with this. So the people that are there thinking that they actually are sort of the people are going to feel they're losing their mind and actually wonder if they are.
Yes.
I think it's an untapped part of all of ourselves so that when I am sort of sharing my experience, even if someone doesn't intellectually understand it, I think they feel it because it's resonant with their soul.
Agreed.
And I would guess for you as well, Lisa, now it feels like this is what I have to do because this is the way that this is how we're going to find our path through where we are, whatever
Yes.
that is. And it's just such a beautiful thing now because it's become so big that there's no choice for me. Like I can, I am the chair of a college board right now. And so I'm like, okay, if the fact that I am sort of sitting here on this show with you, if that challenged that position, then I won't have that position. Like
Right.
it's bigger than all that other stuff. But yeah, but it does. It
I am
resonates.
exactly the same way. For me, I joke and I say, it's easier to maybe be the odd person
Mhm.
than to continuously beat my head against a wall. Like I don't know why I would do that.
Yeah.
That that denying who I am, that's
Mhm.
hard.
Mhm.
Trying to keep up a facade, that just sort of breaks me down
Mhm.
and doesn't feed me in any way. It exhausts me. It makes me sad.
Mm.
Makes me feel very disconnected. Whereas if I'm true in who I am, how I present, how I show up in the world and what I share with the world, if I am truly myself, I
Mhm.
don't even want to say authentic because I kind of feel like that's contrived.
Yeah.
If I am just myself in all that I am and I present soul first,
First,
human
human
second,
second. Yeah.
then I'm in a
Then I'm
good
in a good
place.
place. Oh my gosh. I love that so much, because only recently have I sort of transitioned from seeking externally to then almost seeking internally, like
Mhm.
excavating, like to now I just am. Like there's no, it's just I am, period. So that's in essence what you're saying. And I even a year ago, mm, yeah, probably wasn't quite in that space. And that is, it's undeniable because then you just are in everything, in the hard, in the joyous, in the pain, in the brilliance. You are. I love that.
It's so settling. It's
Hmm.
grounding for sure, but it's more centering and settling and strengthening and yet
Hmm.
softening. It's all the
It's
things
all
all
of
at the
it.
exact same time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Amazing.
Mm.
Amazing. So I'm going to ask you, and you don't have to, I'm just asking
I
if
answer
you have,
everything. Just to let you know, you could ask me absolutely anything and I'm going to answer it. So
I'm the same
beware.
way.
Maybe that's a warning. You're like, I don't want to hear that.
Well, I'm super curious if you have anything that is sort of gnawing at the inside of your skull right now to be able to bring through and share with listeners.
You know, the space that, and it will almost bring tears to my eyes in a way. The hardship that so many of us walk through this life feeling is something that weighs heavily on me. So it weighs heavily in the words. It weighs heavily and not it weighs heavily because it is it. See, and I'm defining an energy, but it is trying to forge. It's almost feels like it's pushing a bunch of mud, like it's a snowplow, but it's pushing mud, trying to forge a pathway for us to move beyond the space of hardship that we believe that we're in. And, it's so hard when you're sitting in that space of hard and space of pain. And I have so many friends who are in that space right now because they are dealing with serious things, life and death things. And it can be difficult to be sort of in this space where you can sort of identify the brilliance or possibility available to each of us. So I will
Mhm.
tell you in the last 24 hours, what I'm sitting in is the power that lies within each of us to, I think, literally create the next moment. So the power that we have in this moment to literally create the next moment. I watch it all the time. I feel it. And that to me is our pathway beyond hardship. And so that is not articulated. Unfortunately, you asked me a question where you're getting like just the random like pinpoints of what's in there. But that is to me where I'm receiving. It is what the divine greater source is communicating with me lately is see yourself. Like, please see, now I'm crying because of it, but see yourself. I want you to see yourself. There's nothing more than I want you to see yourself for the brilliance, the beauty, the love, and the possibility that you have right now to become all of the things you wish for because you are. So, it's just, and when you're sitting in the space with the architecture, the framing, the structure, the systems, the processes, the media, the everything that's coming at you, you hear that and you're like, yeah, easy for you to say.
Mhm.
And so for me right now, it's holding that energy. I am being called to hold that energy, even amidst it all. And actually, I can feel that so are you. You probably already know that.
Mhm.
To hold this energy at this moment because it is shifting the energetics, even if I can't intellectualize it like I can't,
Mhm.
with like I just tried. It's shifting the energetics. And so I am just trying to stand as firmly as I can in this space without falling back myself so that I can be that invisible something that is emanating for all the structures being I think everything is sentient in a way for everything that surrounds me. This microphone, you, the person who
Yes.
is mowing the lawn, like all of it. Yeah.
I had this vision
Mm.
around 3:30 this morning,
Wow.
and I was speaking to thousands of people,
Mm.
and I said, "Look to your left and take the hand of the person on your left. Just take their hand and feel them. Feel that that's a human, no different from you. Just feel their humanness." And it was thousands of people touching someone else's left hand to recognize another human being. And then I went on to say, now gently let go and just hover over their hand and feel their energy. Feel the energy of the person to your left. Feel that if their energy is warm, if it's cold, is it scared? Is it welcoming? Just feel their energy. And now imagine this little pinhole in the middle of their energy, and that's their essence. Feel their essence. See that light within their hand. This is someone's left hand. See that pinhole of light.
Yeah.
And now let it grow and recognize when their energy literally mixes in with your energy and creates one energy. And now left to left to left to left, there is all of this interweaving of energy to
Yes.
create one.
Yes.
And in
Yes.
there lies the possibility of healing, the possibility of peace, the possibility of change.
Yes.
So, listener, there's your homework.
I love it. So beautiful, Lisa. Yes, because it already exists.
It does.
And do you believe, because I do, and this can be a little difficult maybe, but it can be a choice.
Well, I think it's an absolute. I
Okay.
don't think that it's a can.
Yes,
This is a choice, period.
it is. I agree. I agree.
And that's the gift. So
Yes.
that in there, in that choice is the gift.
Yes.
And in every millisecond you choose.
Every single one.
Isn't that glorious?
Yes.
Isn't that so beautiful?
Yes, that is exactly what I am feeling. And so I literally celebrate every moment, and they're not all easy. I celebrate every one because I get to choose in that one. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I get to sit and watch it all. Like, I'm like a witness. I'm just like, whoa.
It's
And it's not
amazing.
whoa. I'm like, whoa to the wall.
Yeah. It's utterly amazing. I am right there with you. Again, right? This is like, you're a lunatic. No, I'm really not.
No, because
See, and
I know.
it's incredible day. Yesterday was an extremely challenging day for me. I was seriously challenged with programming of ancestral programming of succumbing to oppression, succumbing to power being used to suppress, right? And I had to go into a very difficult situation, and I was literally shaking. And that's when I turned to my mentor and said, "This is where I'm at. This is what's happening with me." And she said, "Okay, so it's time for you to learn spiritual dissonance." And I was like, "Wait, what? Spiritual dissonance? What?" She said, "Yes. So you know how you're sitting in your body right now and you're feeling everything around you. You're feeling the fear of the situation. You're feeling the literal oppression of it, the power of it." She said, "Now do yourself a favor, take a really deep breath and imagine that your entire being gets to step up and to the side. And allow yourself to step outside of the physicality of expression and go into witnessing the environment, the experience. Instead of feeling the expression, bear witness to the experience. Two totally very different things, right?"
They are. They are.
And I was like, holy cow, look at that.
Whoa, yeah.
Boom, in an instant, that choice
Yeah.
of how am I going to move through this moment in time? How am I going to move through it? As a witness or experiencing the physicality of it?
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's so important.
Isn't that a great lesson?
It really is because, and I thank you for the words, because oftentimes I can feel things without the words. So I think that is when I say I am, that's part of the space that I've found
Mhm.
myself in, which can be a little bit difficult too for people who are doing the work. I have no other word, but that we're doing because we benefit from that feeling. We benefit from that embodiment. And so we don't want to totally lose it because it's,
Correct.
and so it can, I'm like, I don't, I always heard like, put a white light around you. And I'm like, no,
Mhm.
I want to feel, but that idea of spiritual dissonance of like popping up out of it and
And
moving
just off to
over,
the side.
you like for me, that has been how I now manage my anxiety
Yes.
because my anxiety in part was feeling all of it all the time, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I couldn't even function.
Where's the volume? Where is it? I wanted to turn
Totally.
that down, and I lost the button. Like, could somebody please
Yes, so I'm just gonna hide in my room.
so
I
I'm
have
just
social
gonna
anxiety, I'm not gonna see anyone or talk to
Right.
anyone, and I'm just gonna be here. And so I think that that is an amazingly valuable tool, and it's, this to people as well. When you hear that, you think to yourself, right, like, I'm just gonna sit there and envision myself stepping away and it's all gonna be gone. Again, yes, because it's a choice.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
really is that simple. We choose where we want to sit
Yes. Yes.
and we pull our being out. So thank you for sharing that. I love that. It's so
And you know
important.
what's really neat?
Yeah.
So as and she's texting me this, and I'm learning all of these lessons in real time. And 2 things. 1, I said to her, "I'm remembering how you taught me to channel," which was
Mhm.
to go into a state of meditation and then go stand off to the side and allow for something else to move through me. And I was
Totally.
like, I'm totally remembering how to do that now. I'd been so separated from that practice, and it
Yeah.
becomes, it just becomes easy. It's just a
Yes.
muscle, just
Yes.
happens automatically.
Yes.
So I said, number 1, I'm remembering that. And then I got out of my car to walk into the building, and you can't make this stuff up. To the left of the door was a little tiny baby turtle. And I went, "What are you doing nowhere near water on an asphalt parking lot? What are you doing here?" So, me being me, immediately Google turtle
Yeah.
spiritual meaning. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is happening here, right?
Totally.
And the spiritual meaning of a turtle is rest. You are
Mhm.
safe. You can recede. Yeah, you can recede into your shell,
Mhm.
still be where you need to be physically, but also be very separated, very safe, very secure. And I went, thank you, thank you, thank you,
Oh my
thank you,
gosh,
thank
it's
you.
so incredible. I mean, and it really those things are everywhere, and I heard
Everywhere.
immediately when the turtle was to your left, I'm like, "The turtle is taking your hand." But, I'm like, "Oh, the turtle's got your hand," in a beautiful way. But yeah, just yesterday, it's sort of there are just these moments where you have an inkling and then the feeling or the validation is next. It's just like boom, boom
Mhm.
when you are in the space of witnessing. I think it allows for that. I think when you're kind of deeply in it, you're enmeshed. And so it's hard to see the things that are
Absolutely.
around. So that practice is just incredible. And I like what you're saying about the intentionality around channeling versus right now because sometimes for me and I wonder if it feels this way for you because I'm like are other people okay with this? Like I now am so in that space. Like it is hard for me to sit down and have a lunch with someone and not at
I
some
know.
point be in this space. Like I went with a colleague 2 days ago who said I almost feel like I should be paying you. I'm about to hit the gavel for this board meeting last week, and I'm, like, quickly 2 minutes away, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can totally feel this. Here's what I'm feeling is hap" and I'm like, "Okay, you need to, like" I don't but I feel like that it's
Yeah.
where I want to be, it's where I am, and I'm like, "Am I not going to connect with people at some point? Because 'Cause I'm just gonna be in this space?"
You know what happens?
Yeah, tell me.
What happens is you wind up being able to channel the best of the situation you're in.
Mhm.
So you're at a board meeting.
Yeah.
Great. We're not here for a personal reading for every single person sitting at the table, right?
Yes.
We're
Yes.
here to help bring
Mm.
about the very best situation for everybody here with this
Yes.
one goal,
Mhm.
right? which is going to
Yes.
be the very best for this university, for
Yes.
everybody sitting at
Yes.
this table, for everybody who crosses the paths on the campus, for everybody who
Mhm.
even looks at the website. That's why
Yes.
we're here.
Totally. That yes,
And
that's how
so
I
when
feel.
you call to order, right, you're like, now
It goes like that.
every
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm, and it does.
everybody's guides all start working through
Yes.
you. We're here on one singular mission. So your
Mm.
skill set of the one to one
Yeah.
literally becomes the one to many because it's like
Yes.
what we were talking about in the very beginning.
Totally. Totally.
Individual lights become one light that
Yes.
moves
Yes.
simultaneously in unison.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's
And
so
that's what
beautiful.
winds up coming through for you.
I love that because I think that also provides solace to anyone else who's struggling with how do I integrate these parts in how do I integrate this spiritual soulfulness
Right.
flow into the regular linear parts of life, and I absolutely agree with you. It took me a while to get here, but I absolutely agree that that's what it feels like. I'm like, now
Yeah.
this is its presence. It's like a deep
Exactly.
deep presence. And I look
Now,
at me, I like
downside
stand
to
up.
that is that, carry tissues with you because you're going to cry a lot in public. And that's just the
Oh,
way
I
that it
always have.
is.
I'm
I
like,
mean, it just,
that everyone is
you're
used
like, this
to.
is so much bigger than me. And it sometimes floods out my eyes. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my gosh, it totally, because it's so funny. So before all of this, I would give a lot of speeches and I always wrote them in flow even though I didn't recognize it. And
Yeah.
it would be I would write them in 10 minutes. And then when I would almost have to practice to the point of just having it be somewhat rote, but not really because people felt it. But because it was so emotion, I mean, I would just feel it all. So I
You're like, I
love it.
have
Yeah,
to get used to it. I have to calibrate to that.
because I know the
Otherwise, I'm
whole
a
time.
mess.
Yes, because we literally, like, are embodying this
Yeah.
message from outside of us to a certain
Yeah.
extent, and so in that embodiment, it's so much bigger. So you're like, "I can't contain it."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for every listener out there, when at some point in your life you've figured this out and you have felt this and you've experienced it, when you felt such immense emotion for someone. I love you so much. If you're a parent, you look at your baby and you're like, I love you so much, I could literally eat you. I want
Yes.
to nibble on your cheeks. Or if you look at your parent and you're like, I love you so much, I'm so consumed with love, or a friend or a partner. Whenever you have felt that, recognize that that is literally the bigness, the vastness of this universal energy, trying very hard to shrink down to calibrate to our human bodies.
My god.
Literally.
So well said.
Our bodies can only handle so much. It's why we don't get flung into space without a shit ton of armor and suits and all of the things. It's also why you can't just like sit in a centrifuge all the time.
Of
Our
course.
human bodies, the cells, are meant to only hold so much energy. That's
My
physics,
gosh.
it's biology, it's also chemistry thrown in there. And if you overload a human cell, it explodes. Like, no lie, this is just
Yes.
what happens. It dies.
Oh my gosh.
So that vastness, that
Yes.
feeling has such a high, high, high vibration
Mhm.
that it literally has to like get smashed down, like trying to put too much into a Tupperware container and you are just
100%.
crushing it down into it.
100. We're like, "Doesn't this sound nice?"
That's what we experience.
But it is, it's so true. And do you think, because as I look back, I was resisting this all the time physically.
Absolutely.
Like, and I did, and when I actually decided I want to explore this space, it required me to become completely aware of my body because I was
Yes.
pushing it away with
Mm.
a twitch, with a shrug, with a like,
Yep.
I would push it away and cut it.
Yep.
So then it wasn't so when it was coming in, I would just cut it. And now I'm like, I literally, like, breathe deeply and quietly in that space so that I can acclimate my body because
Yes.
otherwise, I mean, it is a lot
It's a
in
lot.
the best way. Unless
But
you're
it can
going
be
through
also very
menopause, because then
overwhelming.
it's hot flash. Like, it would spark every hot flash for me, and I'm like, "My."
Yep.
So
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
only time, just as anyone who is approaching that phase of their life, it will instigate those. But I just yeah, I
It
had to get
does.
comfortable. Yes.
You know what I have found? The biggest tool that I have for hot flashes
Yeah.
is Reiki.
Oh, yeah.
No
Mhm.
lie.
Yeah, it makes sense, actually.
Yeah, hot flashes are just
Yes.
like a revving of an engine. The revving
Yes.
of an engine is what is creating the
Mhm.
internal energy combustion to be able
Mhm.
to handle everything that's coming in, to be able
Yeah.
to transmute that much. And if you go, "Oh, real quick, Reiki on," because if a menopausal woman, you feel the rev and you're like, "Oh, wait a second. No, 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 Reiki on, Reiki on." Like, put it somewhere, send it somewhere. This is going to be good, but it's
Love it.
coming in hot. So who am I sending this to?
Love it. This is gonna be me now in my meetings. I'm like, "Reiki on," you know?
Ricky on the tongue, get it to the roof of your mouth as fast as possible.
This needs to be a hashtag, like a hot flash hack.
Hot flash
Hashtag
hack.
Reiki on. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like it.
seriously, Reiki the shit out of that and just send it to everybody. It's gonna be like that silver bullet that gets to just circle
Oh
around and
my
around and
gosh,
around. It's
yes,
fantastic.
because it's
But it's
no
better than
joke.
trying to be like the sleeping bag trying to get a sleeping bag back in its original container.
Oh
Like,
my
it
gosh.
doesn't work that way.
Totally.
So
I
instead of
love that.
trying to, like, make your human body,
Yeah.
like, shove something into it, care for your human body, increase its capacity because you
Mhm.
can increase those batteries. Our cells are
100%.
meant to
Mhm.
vibrate at a faster rate, they're meant to
Yes.
hold more energy. Just work on that, support your
Yes.
body,
Totally.
and you can actually handle more coming through you.
Yes. Which ends up allowing the world to be that much more.
Exactly.
Yes. Because it's
So
sort
that's
of
my
like a
theory on
mirror.
world peace.
Yes. I'm 100% with you. And people
Yeah.
look at me, I think I'm sure a lot of people look at me thinking that this idealism is a little too much because I oversimplify. But I really do
Doesn't have
believe
to be that
that's
tough.
that's where it is. It
I
literally
agree.
is. Because if you and the thing is that for you and for me, we have discovered this transformation kind of within our own lives. And so you can see it through that lens, but also being able to see it through the corridor and the lights lens.
Mhm.
It's this idea that who we are is who we are collectively too.
Bingo.
You know, so it's like it's kind of both spheres and that's where I get to choice
Yes.
because, I could very easily sit in and I have, friends and family who almost want me to sit sometimes. They're like, "Don't you? Isn't this awful? Doesn't this bother you? Doesn't" and I, yes, as a witness,
Yes?
but no as a I'm going to be in it because
Mhm.
I'm choosing to carry something different.
Yeah.
And that's where we all have that choice of whether to get in the pool or not
Agreed.
of discord and vitriol and anger and mm, just all of it.
It's funny, we're in a very interesting time.
Mhm.
I think mainly because I've seen the other side
Yeah.
that I'm just sort of like, this is a very interesting time.
That's exactly what it is. I find it the same. I'm
It's
fascinated by it,
curious.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's me. I'm
fascinated by this.
just
This was
like,
me during COVID too. Like, why
yes.
does anybody think this is a bad thing? Like,
Mhm.
yes, human loss, terrible,
Yep.
heartbreaking. Can we get out of
Mhm.
the humanness of it and see the other
Yes.
side? Can we
Totally.
just flip it?
Yes.
What are we learning right now?
Oh my gosh, I love that so much
We're
because
learning
that's
to
how
love
I
each other. We're
yes.
learning to value each other. We're learning
Mhm.
to value our time with each other. Like,
Yes.
literally, the world shut down so that we
Yes.
could recalibrate our focus. What are we going to focus on?
Totally. Totally.
Right now feels to be like we're on the edge of a coin.
Agreed.
We're
Yeah.
literally living on
Yes.
the edge of the coin. And back to your point of choice, every single moment, every single experience is on the edge of a coin.
Yes.
On the one side, you have the high vibration and
Yep.
expression of this experience. On the other, you have the low vibration
Totally.
and expression of the experience.
Yes.
Choose the high vibration.
Yes.
So here
Yes.
we are standing in possibility.
Mhm.
And on the one side, you've got chaos and confusion. And on the other side, you have redefining and creating. It's the
Yes.
exact same energy.
100%.
Chaos
Yes.
is just a redefinition,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And confusion is really just growing
Yeah.
and creating.
Yes.
So I'm going to choose that.
Total.
I'm going to
Totally.
choose the creation, redefining, reprioritizing. That's what I'm choosing in every
Yes.
single moment. So it's interesting because, I don't think anybody in this planet can say that on a daily basis, they don't have somebody that says,
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, can't you look?
Yeah,
Just look at the news and can't you
of
see what
course.
a horrible
Yes.
situation? And
Yes.
that would be the low vibration of it.
Yeah, right.
The low vibrational expression of fear.
Yes. 100%.
But if I step out of that fear, I look at the
Yes.
possibility.
Oh my
What's
gosh, totally.
possible in this situation?
Oh, and that gets like that gets me so excited because I see,
Right?
I see things too through the lens of evolution and sort of how we
So do
evolve
I.
as human
You just
species.
made my
And
head
so
itch. Yeah.
like I'm just like this is all part of it. When I look at
Mhm.
anything, when I look at sort of the state of our systems or AI or
Mhm.
technology, like I see it all as moving us to new spaces as human evolution. Like I
And how
am
exciting that we get to define what that's going to look
love
like.
it. I love it. I think about it like it's not like me, Sara Byers is going to define like the new architecture, but that's my cerebral part. Like that's
But
what I
you
sit
are.
doing. I know. Thank you. Cause I'm
But
just
you
like,
are
you
because you're
know,
choosing the higher
right.
vibration of it.
Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, what? Let's build it. Like that's
But,
me. Let's build
it's
it.
so see, so that's me too, because 'cause I'm in
Mhm.
Aries and I'm like, "Let's fucking
Oh,
go." Can we, like,
yes.
maybe have done it yesterday? So
I'm
that's
sure you are. Yes. I'm a Cancer who's like, I do want to be at home, but I also want to build it.
I'm like, hello, is anybody listening? Is this thing on?
Right?
Can we build it and then figure it all out as we go?
Oh
Because
my
that
gosh,
wouldn't that be easier?
yes. And the answer is yes. That is how I do everything now. Like, I love that about this space and this life and where I am because what I'm saying that I want sort of the macro to be is
Yes.
now how I'm living this micro. And I have no idea. Like, I said to my husband last week, I was like, my amazing, beautiful partner and I just put an end to our podcast that we had, which was just gorgeous, the ending. But I said, what it's given me is I will do anything. I believe I can do anything. Like, I created an AI bot for my poetry. There's just nothing. So it's all open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is flow going to bring next?
Exciting. I'm like, it's the wild, wild west. There are no rules. It's anything goes.
Totally.
And when it was like that before,
Hmm.
a whole lot of people decided to create in a lower vibration. Okay.
Yes.
You created in a way that made it very, very profitable for a small amount of people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you built it on the backs of the majority.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in the possibility right now of building something. It brings tears to my eyes,
Oh, I'm so
of
with you.
building a world that is for everyone, not on the backs of anyone, but in
Yeah.
celebration of everyone. That
100%. I know. I know. And that's where I see, like, if AI becomes the mechanism of productivity, then
oh
the
my God.
human
It's
value
literally
proposition.
programmable, people. You can make it
Yes,
whatever the hell you want.
totally.
It's
So
not
then
a
the
robot
human,
controlling us. Do whatever you want with it.
yes, and
Do
make
good
it
with
the,
it.
so then we get to be creative and intuitive and loving, and we get to be this, and our economic system can follow that.
Which it's supposed to,
Yes, I
right?
love
So
it.
when you have wealth that is
Concentrated.
ill ill distributed,
Yes,
concentrated, yes. It literally is just mirroring humanity on the macro, right?
100%. Mhm.
That's it. That's all it's
Yes.
doing is showing you
Yes.
how humanity is functioning.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So look at that and go opportunity.
Yeah.
And what is created on the macro is what is experienced on the micro. So instead of creating for just a few people,
Mhm.
let's change our lives to then have that get echoed out to
Oh my
create something
gosh.
even bigger, a mass movement.
Oh, it's so
And then that
exciting.
mass movement of love and acceptance and
Mhm.
humanity at its
Mhm.
core as at a soul connection
Yes.
gets mirrored by wealth
100%.
in all ways.
Yes.
That's money and energy and
All of it.
light and
Structure.
all
Yes.
all of it,
All of it.
right? All of our structures are now
Yes.
rewritten
Yes.
to include and
Yes.
to amplify every living soul. Like
Yeah.
that to me is
100%.
that's an opportunity.
Yes. Because we're
Let's do
all
that.
just reflecting. So if we actually take sort of accountability for reflection,
Exactly.
then we realize, like, wait, what I want out there is what I need to be.
Has to start here.
Yeah.
Has to.
Gosh.
Which brings us back to when you start awakening like
Mhm.
this, there is a tendency to go inward very singularly. It is a independent, isolated trip for a little
Yeah.
while because
Yeah.
you really are trying to figure out, okay, what shit is mine? What is somebody else's? I don't even know how to categorize things like
Mhm.
that. I just
Mhm.
figured it was all mine and it was all
Yep.
my
So
fault
did I.
somehow.
Mhm. Yep.
But when you start sifting through all of that, you end up with these piles, which is why I love feng shui, right? Like you
Mhm.
literally go through and you say, this is for me and this is not. And you
Oh.
end up with what is for you. And you look at that and you go, okay, so this is the life I've created.
Mm.
I take responsibility and accountability for that. And if I created that, I get to create something different. And now this is what I would like to create.
Oh my gosh, I feel that so much. I feel that practice, and I know nothing about feng shui, but I feel, my gosh, I feel the sense of what we surround ourselves with is really part of ourselves. Like that, oh my gosh, I've never really thought about it that way. That is
Yeah.
beautiful and amazing.
It's
Okay.
this ripple of everything
Yeah.
that we've been talking about, right? So, feng shui, you can apply it to your home, you
Yep.
can apply it to your room, you can
Mhm.
apply it to a drawer, you can apply it to your person, you can apply it to just absolutely anything.
Oh my
The
gosh.
concepts and the lessons of what
Yeah.
is mine, what is not mine, and
Totally.
how do I want to amplify this, and how can I use the elements to support it all, and then how can I get it all moving in flow.
You said something that I think is really important because I did it as well. And I think when I talked in the very beginning about the spaciousness that I think
Mhm.
is sort of required for flow, that spaciousness, similarly for me, was derived at really going through that process internally. I did it through writing. You can do it, but because I had so many stories that I held within me that as I revisited them, I realized were completely inaccurate, actually, and or not mine. Because when we're sort of in the moment, I took everything on myself. So I had
Mhm.
these stories about my failure like at every year of my life for one reason or another that I was like had like saddled over my shoulder as I like tried to walk forward, and rewriting those narratives, looking at it through my today lens and going, you were 14, like what did you think you were going to do?
Right.
That process is super powerful. And would you say that it is necessary to get to flow? Like, can you get to flow without that clearing out? I guess you could pieces. Like, can it find the space that it needs?
So, this is what I'll say to that. Of course, there can always be flow,
Mhm.
right? You could look at a stream filled with
Mm.
rocks.
Mhm.
Somehow the water makes its way through.
Mhm.
Where there are crevices, water makes its way through,
Mhm.
always and all the time.
Yep. Yep.
But it's a shit ton easier if you take some of those rocks out of the
Mm.
way,
Yep. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. And it makes sense
right?
actually, because that's why flow would come in bits and pieces. I would get it when
Yes.
I was writing a speech, or I would get it
Yes.
here. That makes total sense. I love that analogy. Yep. Mm.
Yeah, and then you get to choose, right? What does this rock consist of?
Yes.
And why did I place it there? And so that should be the question always.
Mhm.
What is this rock and why did I place it there?
Yes.
No one gets to come
Yes.
into your life and place rocks anywhere.
I
They
know.
don't.
Yep.
You open the door, you ask them to come
Mhm.
in,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You allow for these things.
100%.
And that does not discount violence and,
Mhm.
those types of
Yes.
expressions and experiences. But what I will say is just explore that because there's a way to invite courage. There's a way to invite strength. There's a way to invite healing, right? You
Yes.
don't need to invite pain and damage and violence into your life.
Mhm.
You don't need
Mhm.
to.
Mm-mm.
You
No,
can
because
choose something else.
even if that violence, as someone who's had violence in their
Mhm.
past, even if you have it as a rock, then again, the story around that
Yes.
is where you have the opportunity to change it. It's not that
Exactly.
that history goes away. It's that the smallness, it's the only word I have, that I felt the belittled nature that, that is what can change. And
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
The
Mm,
lessons derived from it.
yes.
And sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, it takes looking at it from a different perspective. Again, right? Stepping outside of yourself to
Yeah.
stand to the side and take a look at what was that experience? Well, what was it from the other person's
Mhm.
perspective? What could it have been from an observer's perspective? A totally
Yeah.
neutral party's perspective?
Mhm.
Would that neutral party have placed so much on me? Probably not.
Exactly. No. Mhm.
Right?
What?
So then you go, well, wait a second. If it's not mine as a responsibility and accountability, what is?
Yeah.
Because in every single experience, we
Yes.
have a responsibility and accountability. Well,
100%.
maybe my responsibility and accountability was to learn how to be a more
Mhm.
courageous version of myself, to
Yes.
find my voice, to find my strength,
Yes.
to,
Mhm.
right, to
Yes.
maybe fight for my own worth,
Yeah.
to
Yes.
require it of others.
Yes. Yes.
And then to
Absolutely.
make that connection that, well, shit, if I'm going through this and I'm processing through all of this and I'm pretty freaking self aware now, maybe so is that other person,
Yes.
right?
Totally. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My gosh. What an amazing frame. Yeah. It's
Right.
great.
And I
Yes.
also, and this will be like my last thing that I share with your
Yeah.
listeners, but I will say this: anybody who is functioning in the world through the voice of anger, through the voice of hatred, through the voice of belittling, through any expression, they're afraid. They're
100%.
afraid.
Mhm.
1000% of the time, they're afraid. So they've got a lot of words coming out of their mouths because they don't know exactly the right words to express what it is that they're feeling because they don't know that they're feeling fear. But fear is always expressed 1000% of the time as aggression.
Yes. Yep.
Just is.
I'm so with you. That's beautiful. Yeah, and important for us all
I
right now.
think so. Because then it's incumbent on us to go, oh, wait a second. You're afraid.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
you were a dog, I would wrap you up. I would hold
Yes.
you. Right?
Yes.
I would coax you and tell you that you were safe. If you were a child, shit,
Mhm.
I would put you in my lap. I would hold you. I would tell you,
Yes.
I will hold you until you feel safe.
Yes.
This is just another human being who happens to be roughly the same size as you.
Yeah.
And if you don't respond to fear with fear, oh, everything changes.
Totally stops. Stops it.
Isn't that
Yes.
incredible?
Yes. Yes. It is. That's where there's just so much opportunity for all of us. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And I want to say one more thing as we close is how
Please.
tremendous I think you are. I really
Oh,
mean that. Your insight, the way you connect the spiritual, soulful with the actual, the reality that we all are living in is super unique. Not many people can do this in the way that you can. And I just want to say thank you because, boy, it really matters. So thank you.
oh my heavens. Thank you. Sarah, that touches my heart. That touches my soul. It's the whole reason why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I was guided. I was divinely guided
Hmm.
to start this podcast. It's the whole reason it exists. So thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for validating that it
Hmm. Oh,
resonates in that way.
it's just beautiful.
Now, where can people find your
Mm.
gifts? I can't call it work. It's not work.
I know it doesn't, I don't like work either.
Yeah, it feels like there's conflict there. So where can people experience your gifts and share in that with
Thank
you?
you. Thanks for asking. So, my poetry and sort of thought channeling happens on Instagram, Dear Joy Love. And then I also offer more personal opportunity on my website, which is sarahsbyers.com. But thank you for asking.
Fantastic. I will put all of that in the show notes for you listeners. So read on down, scroll on down, and give Sarah a follow.
Thank you.
And my guess is go work with her.
Oh my gosh.
You're going
I
to get
love that.
something very magical and personal.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you. I can't wait to get together again.
Same.
Okay, that's it, listener. Before you go, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and set your notifications to never miss an episode. If you'd like even more with me, come on over to nagarelife.com. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, go on and share it. Share it with somebody that you think would enjoy it as well. All right. I'll see you next time.